Have I showed you guys these little mini avocados yet? Like, look how small it is. And then the one I gave Evan doesn't even have a stone. How insane. But they're so handy because I was always buying avocados and I'd use half and then the other half would go off or go all brown or I'd forget about it. But these, you buy a little pack of them and like it's like you eat the whole avocado, done. And they stay ripe for fucking ages. I've had these like 2 weeks. Got them in Dunn's.
Today is the 22nd of the 2nd, 2022. And I'm not like an angel, even the term kind of cringes me out, an angel number kind of gal. But I'm interested. I saw a TikTok and it was saying like, be careful how you spend the 22nd of the 2nd. They're like, don't fight with anyone. Like one of these kind of like a New Year's Eve thing of like, how you spend this day is going to, impact whatever. I don't know if I buy all that. I'm going to talk to you about my hair in a second. But I thought I'd look up the significance. Why not? The angel numbers thing, like, I mean, you can call me like selective, right? Because obviously I love a bit of tarot, I love a bit of astrology, but like angel numbers to me, correct me if I'm wrong, they're kind of where I draw the line. Like I feel like everyone has somewhere they draw the line with spirituality, and if you don't, you're just like on another level, which is grand. Like, do you, sis, and all that kind of shit. But like so far, everything I've been looking for, it's just like articles where they just talk about how it's a palindrome date forever, and I'm like, what does it mean? That means it means nothing. If you can't tell me in the first like 2 paragraphs, like I know they're trying to keep you there for the ads and all. It's just so annoying. Like they're like, it reads forwards and backwards. I know it's a palindrome. Like you don't have to tell me that. So annoying. Like people are saying maybe do something important today. I'm not going to be doing anything important. Like the woman that I saw on TikTok, right? She said to me, don't fight with any spouses. Grand. She also said, I like to do something that you love, I think. Something like that. Like, do something that you enjoy doing. I don't know. I just have to work today. Okay, my more important thing that I want to talk about before I get into this video, I have a question. I have a question for the culture, for the like clean looking, together OOTD looking girlies. Like I'm talking to Sophie Murray's, I'm talking Matilda Jerps, I'm talking, like, I understand it's like toxic to look at people like online, like influencers or whatever, and have any level of comparison to yourself or reality. Like I, on paper, truly understand that. How do they do it? Like my question is, and this is not coming from a place of judgment, I promise you, this is coming from a place of awe. Like I'm in sheer awe of these girls and women, whatever. Like I just want to know, like, are they bopping around in outfits every single day? I do not wear outfits every day, and tell me if you're one of me. My type of girly, the type of person that I am, like outfits happen on a rarity. Like they are not the standard. The standard is like leggings, my hair looking bad, and like a hoodie or a jumper or something like that. Like I really tried to put an outfit together today. All I could swing together was a shirt and a pair of jeans. In no way groundbreaking. How do those girls make that look like an outfit? I even did makeup. I tried to do my hair. Like my hair, guys, like I'm good at makeup, I think. Like I'm pretty confident with, the hair clip's falling everywhere. I'm pretty confident when it comes to my makeup. I am. Like I feel like I can do most things with makeup if I try, and if I can't do them straight away, I'm pretty sure I can do them with some practice. But as I said, my confidence level, my hair, guys, like why am I Johnny Depp in Crybaby? So yeah, my question for the girlies is like, do you wear like are you wearing outfits every day? Because I'm not wearing outfits every day and I don't know how to do it. I can barely do an outfit in general. Like, I can barely pull a look together. And I want to be able to because I think it looks nice. And I feel like you would feel very like together, you know? And I also want to know how people do hair. I definitely don't think the woman on TikTok told me to be so toxic on the 2nd of the 2nd, but here I am. Yeah, I'd love some tips. I have a birthday party to go to in like a week and a half, and it's a theme party, right? So this is another part of my brain that doesn't, like, I can't do it. I'm really not good at fancy dress. I'm really not good at putting, like, that's another thing, right? Putting looks together. Like, I'm not good at it. I know what I'd love to go as if I had a hair makeup artist and a stylist. But if it's just up to me, like, I'm so bad at it. Like, I am that girl who went as a cat every year. That is me. And it's not out of like, meow, sexy. It's like, I see everyone in their amazing outfits and I'm like, oh my God, fair play. Like, looks amazing. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And I had that next Saturday and the theme is 1990s. And I'm like, kind of at a loss at what that means. Like, I'm not doing Spice Girls. Like, what? Just Posh Spice on my own? No. And Clueless don't have blonde hair, so that kind of puts that one. And this is what happens to me every Halloween. Every Halloween, I'm like, I'm gonna dress up. And the closer the date gets to me, the more anxiety I get, and then I bottle it and don't go. Anyway, they're my struggles today. I've made an executive decision today. I'm gonna take one of my microdoses. I heard recently through someone I know that you can like take these if you're having maybe like if your mood is a little bit off. And my mood is off today and I don't want it to be, and it's frustrating me that it is. I'm kind of, you know, one of those days where like you just can't really seem to get it together. I have them a lot, but I am specifically having one today, I feel. So before it gets any worse, I'm gonna take one of these. This is what it looks like. It's just like crumpled up little mushrooms. I'll leave the name of the website that I get them from here. As I say, disclaimer, I'm not endorsing this. I'm not saying that you should do it. Always do your own research. Do not do them if you are on SSRIs. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. Mentioning microdosing has got me a lot of questions about it, and I'm not qualified to really answer things. I'm happy to discuss my own experience. I have done so on Red Room a good bit, but I'm not your go-to for advice. So I don't mean to sound rude when I'm saying this, but like, don't message me on Instagram about it, because I won't. I just don't give people information on Instagram. A, because they keep blocking my account when I did do it, and B, like, this is your own decision to make, including any risks that could come along to it, any risks with it getting delivered to your house, although I really don't think there are any. It is your decision alone. You are your own person. Okay, I'm gonna take these and then I'm gonna have some miso soup and see if my day improves. Hey guys, oh my God, the lighting, this new lighting, well, it's not new, the lights that Evan bought to replace the lights in our kitchen after all these years actually give me such a nice little, like, it's almost like having a ring light. I'm gonna make a matcha. When I made my matcha latte last time, it was only when I was editing the footage, I was talking about how I didn't have a hand whisk, or like a little handheld electric whisk. And then I was like, oh, the thing inside the Arancino, this is a Nespresso Arancino, some people asked. You get it with Nespresso, you can buy them from Nespresso. They like froth the milk for you and heat it. I was like, that's the same thing. And then I was like, oh, I can just put the powder in with the milk. Now, I don't think you're supposed to put anything inside these things. Hang on. I think you are like, I'm sure on their website they're like, only put in like blah blah blah, you know, kind of strict vibes. But we're gonna put in, so I just put my usual amount of milk in, and then I'm gonna put in my matcha powder. So teaspoon, and it's gonna go Straight in, no lube. While I wait for this to, I was going to say cook. While I wait for this to do whatever it's doing. Do you know what's so annoying? Remember last week when I was talking and I was eating those seaweed snacks? I had this whole rant, and I can't even remember what it was about, but I remember actually listening to it and being like, oh, this is actually like good. Like, I liked what I was saying, I thought it was entertaining, whatever. And I had a huge piece of seaweed on my lip for the whole thing, so I had to cut it. How do you think I should wear this shirt? Like, is that cool? I'm always trying to figure out how to wear shirts. That is a good one. By the way, I just realised I definitely think the mushrooms worked. Like, I feel so much better, and that miso soup I had was so nice. I put some bone broth in it, so I'll show you. I get this from Kerrigan's, but I've seen it in like Nolan's and Clontarf if you're near there, and a few other places. It's Carol's Stock Market beef bone broth. And I have to say another thing, like, I know you might be sick of me talking about keto, but I just thought I'd just mention it one more time. Like, I have had minimal to no bloating since I've done keto. It's so weird. Like, I used to be someone who couldn't like have a lick of cream. Like, it would just bloat me so bad. I had a very, like, not very sensitive stomach, but just random things would just really make like my stomach just expand. Like, it was never like a diarrhea thing. It was just like a hard rock stomach, like an inflammation. And keto is known to be good for inflammation, and I have not, like, my period, guys, I did not bloat at all. It was the weirdest fucking thing. Now, I had a heavy period and it was sore and it wiped me out. I don't know if that was iron or what it was. I couldn't read anything about that online being to do with keto. But my period pains were pretty much non-existent. But mainly my bloating. I was not bloated, which is, again, unheard for me. Anyway, I've got a really fun episode that I'm going to do, and I think we're going to have 2 episodes this week that, well, you'll know by the time this video is out. Hey guys, Jesus Christ, this room does me no favours. It makes me look so fucking pale. I'm going to town today. I always go in town on Fridays. I always train with Fiona in her gym, but today I was invited into a gym in the Dean Hotel called Power Gym. So we're going to train in there. I'm going to see, we're booked in also to the thermal suite, like the sauna and the pool. So we're going to use that. So I thought I'd bring you along. Who knows what content I will get today, but... Go join Fiona there. She's starting our little circuit. We're getting it kind of over and done with, so we can go to this thermal suite after and enjoy sauna. Hi everyone, so I thought to end off the vlog it could be fun, like a fun new, maybe, I don't know, segment. Could be something I do more often or maybe just this once. I thought I'd go through some of my record collection. I actually cleaned all my records, like the sleeves and stuff, at Christmas, and I hadn't really looked at any records in a long time, because usually what I'll do is I'll just buy a new one and I'll play that on repeat. But I'm the type of person that when I get something new I get very obsessed with it, and like I'll just, like, especially at music, like, I really am that person who I will just listen to shit on repeat for so long. I listen to a lot of just the same music that I've always listened to, like when I was a teenager, and even just in my early 20s, like I stick to kind of the same genres. With music, I know what I like. I do feel like, but yeah, I thought I'd go through a few of them with you because how I approach having a record collection is that it's kind of similar to my like books, like with Kindle and stuff like that. So I will buy kind of like any book on a Kindle. If someone recommends me a book, I'll buy it. But if there's ever a book that I read on my Kindle that I really, really loved and I just thought it was like amazing and iconic, I will buy the hardback of it to like add it to my book collection. My book collection at the moment is like between two houses. Hopefully, like if Evan and I get a house this year, I really can't wait for like a big bookshelf, you know. But and I can't wait to update this because I love my record player, but I'd love some like good speakers because it only plays out of these speakers for now, but it can hook up, and to have a little bit more space, to have a few more records because I'm pretty much at capacity here. I don't know how many I have. But yeah, I thought I'd go through because that's what I do with my records. If there's ever an album that I absolutely love, I don't have all my favorite albums on it yet, but if there is an album that I absolutely love, I will always look out to buy it on record. And I always try and buy my records from like record shops in Dublin. I have bought a few online and a few from Amazon if they were like completely unavailable, but I always try prioritize buying from those shops because, you know, I don't know, I think apparently vinyl is on a bit of a resurgence, but I like to keep those shops in business when I can. And it's more fun. It's more fun going into a record store and, you know, looking through alphabetically and finding a record that you either didn't even know you had on your list, or a record that you forgot you loved, or I rarely buy one that I haven't listened to before. If I'm honest, I have them all kind of ordered. They're in like a semi-order at the moment. I kind of put them in. I like to buy a lot of movie scores, and then I have kind of genres, but very loose genres. And then I kind of have, I think down here is like my section of favorites, I think, if I remember correctly. But I thought I'd do like a little lucky dip. Maybe we'll do like 4 records. I can talk about them, maybe you'll listen to some new music, or maybe you will have some recommendations for me. The first section is, as I said, movie scores. I'm a big David Lynch fan, as a lot of people know, and I have quite a few of his scores. The only one I think that I want that I don't have that isn't available is the Mulholland Drive score and soundtrack. Do you know what, years ago in Spin Dizzy they had it on CD in the window, and I was gonna buy it, and then I was like, no, maybe I'll just find it on record, and then I found out that like apparently like it's not made anymore or something like that. I might zoom us in a little bit. So I don't have that. Something I do have, so this was released when Twin Peaks The Return came out, and it's the score of the original Twin Peaks, which was used in Twin Peaks score in the new Twin Peaks, but it's a limited edition. It's a matte black double sleeve, and it opens up to the iconic red curtains, which are obviously a huge inspiration for me. Like the name of my podcast, Red Room, comes from the Red Room in Twin Peaks, along with some other references. But it's a really nice record. It is red. As you can see, it's kind of like a red marble. It's really pretty. And yeah, it just has all the music from Twin Peaks on it, I'm pretty sure. And it has some of the music from some of the score from Fire Walk With Me as well on it. So this I have in 2 versions. I can't remember if they're actually any different. I have this one too. It's white. I'm a bit of a stamp collector, and when these came out, I knew that when they came out, I knew that I would want to have them, because I don't know if they've been reprinted, but just in case they weren't, and they are, as far as I know, they're all numbered as well. So I've got a chunk of David Lynch. I've got the original Twin Peaks here. This is another one. I can't even remember what that is. There's a few Twin Peaks versions, and I just kind of bought them all because they are all a little bit different. But this is my favorite one. The soundtrack and score to Lost Highway, an amazing movie, an underrated David Lynch movie. A lot of people don't like it as much, I think because it came out after Mulholland Drive, but I love it. And one of the reasons why I love it is because the music in it is so incredible. So David Lynch initially reached out to Marilyn Manson to do the score and the music and the composition for the film, but he was like on a big drug phase in his career at the moment. So he lost it to Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, and Trent Reznor and he had a huge falling out over it, and actually like was a big like point of contention in their relationship, shall we say. But Trent Reznor is like a fucking icon. He's so amazing, an amazing musician, and has done a lot of movies scores lately. Like he did Social Network, he's done a few, and you know what, every time at the end of the movie I see his name and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because he has a very much a sound. But this is amazing, and it has a song that David Bowie did called Deranged, I'm Deranged, just for this movie. So I love this. It was expensive, I had to get it from the UK, but it's a prized possession. Another one, oh amazing, this is the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. So I love this. If you didn't know, here's some trivia for you. The Bee Gees had actually like not really made much disco music before they were given the job to do all the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever, and they were making it as they were making the movie. So some of the scenes where they're dancing, it was only done to demos and they're slightly out of sync, but obviously this is just like an iconic album. The inside of this, as far as I remember, is like really funny. It has like a huge, it has like some really cool photos from the movie of John Travolta. There's a really good documentary about this movie. I'm sure if you just Google documentary about Saturday Night Fever, it'll come up. But it shows like how much John Travolta, like how much work he actually put into learning how to dance properly. He went to like dance classes and like all this kind of stuff, and it's just so iconic. And he did this before Grease. A lot of people don't realise that because he looks so young in Grease, but this was filmed before Grease, so well done, John Travolta. I have some others, like I have the Whiplash soundtrack, I've got A Star Is Born, you know, my girl Gaga, I love her so much. Oh yeah, this is my only David Bowie record, which is weird for me because I love David Bowie so much. He's probably my favourite artist, but it's Station to Station, an amazing David Bowie album, and the reason why I love this so much is because it has Wild as the Wind on it, and like that's my parents' song. It's like their little song and it always reminds me of them. But my dad has an amazing David Bowie collection, so I'm hoping he'll give me that maybe, because I'm pretty sure it's just up in his shed. Maybe when I've got more space. So what else? I've got some Prince, Sign of the Times, iconic. This is actually one of the first records I bought, actually, I think. Such an amazing album. It obviously has If I Was Your Girlfriend on it, which is one of my favourite Prince songs. Okay, so this album, and not to sound completely pick me, guys, this is my first favourite album. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with this. My dad got the Fugees, the score on tape or CD or something like that, and I just loved that. Ooh la la la, I loved that song, and I used to know all the words to it when I was like a little kid, and I actually have a memory of like dancing in my living room to that song in like our first house. So I was like under the age of 4. I think this came out, oh no, I wasn't under the age of 4. Sorry, this is only brought out in 1996, so it must have been in our second house. But I would have been like 5 or so. Oh yes, amazing again. I'm sure a lot of people are watching the Kanye West documentary, or just watching Kanye West in general at the moment. And this is my favorite Kanye album, I think. It's Late Registration, College Dropout as well, obviously iconic. Would really like to add that one to my collection. But this one, I just love that song Drive Slow so fucking much. It's just so good. I think this was maybe some of the first songs I was aware of Kanye West. I'm trying to think what year this came out. 2005, yeah, so I would have been like 15. But if you haven't watched Genius, the documentary, you probably should. It's a really good music documentary. I also have The Life of Pablo, I think, in here, which again is an album that not many people enjoy, but I really like it. And this is a really cool edition as well. It's like a clear record on the inside. So, I think I've got some more dancey shit here. So this is like a real old school classic, Moby Play. This album again was an album that my dad loved. My dad was like, I mean still is really into music, and he would have been really like, back in the day, like he was really on it for like new music and knowing what was like up and coming. And I remember he got Moby and he was like, this guy is like making, like, my dad was never into dance music, but I remember I listened to a podcast about this album a while ago, and it was this guy, the whole idea of the podcast was like, this guy claims that he gave Moby a pile of mixtapes of like samples back in like the 90s or whatever, I guess the late 90s, and then Moby used all those for a lot of songs on this. So the whole idea of the podcast is him hunting down Moby so that Moby like acknowledges him. It's really good. I don't know what it's called though. I'm sure if you look up Moby Play podcast you'll find it, but a really great album, and very iconic, and just has a load of amazing songs on it. Oh, I have 3 of these. This is For Those I Love, an amazing Irish artist, and it's an incredible album if you're into maybe like dancey music, kind of like The Blaze or like early The Streets. Also has some kind of burial influence, I feel. It's amazing album. It deals with like loss, friendship. It's just so good, and you should listen to it. I think listen to it blind is the best way to listen to it, but I would encourage pretty much everyone I know to have a listen to this album. How are we doing for time? Okay, we'll do 2 more. Oh yeah, I have to do my Lana Del Rey. So I've got pretty much every Lana Del Rey, not all of them. I don't have the latest 2, and I don't have Lust for Life. But I guess I will show you. I mean, I've got them pretty much all. I think my favorite album from Lana, I mean, it's the fan fave. It's Ultraviolence. I don't have any of her limited edition records, which really fucking annoys me actually. Because you can get, well, I actually prefer this cover of Ultraviolence, but you can get another one of like her knees or whatever. But she always does a really good job with records. Like, they're always really beautifully done. You always get like a nice big double fold with some sort of imagery in here, and then the actual sleeve itself has like Ultraviolence on it. And I know Honeymoon, I think, is done really pretty. It's like has gorgeous pictures of her on the inside, and it's like you get like a booklet in it. So she's someone who I know is really into vinyl herself. I know she has as far as I have heard, she has an incredible vinyl collection. So I can imagine why she puts in such effort into like making beautiful vinyls. You can see this one here. Moving on, I think we're in like my favorite albums section. So this is Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails. This, and there's one other album that I really want to get, and I cannot fucking get it. I've been trying to get Pretty Hate Machine for a long time. Freebird Records tell me they'll order it in, but they never seem to do it. But that's my other 9 Inch Nails that I really want to get, because that's my favourite 9 Inch Nails album. But this one always reminds me, a lot of albums on here remind me of Devon, my friend. Devon has like an iconic music taste in my opinion, and has introduced me to a lot of albums. And I always think of this when I went back to his apartment for the first time. He put on Hey Pig and danced on his table for me. So there you go. Okay, so speaking of Devon, I will show you my favourite album. This is my favourite album from my record collection, and it is the Smashing Pumpkins' Adore. Again, an album that is just, if anyone knows Devon, which probably not many people who watch this video do, but this album just is him. He has lots of stories about listening to this album at a certain point in his life, but he got me into it because I always loved the Smashing Pumpkins, but this was just an album I never got into until I met him and he told me to listen to it, and it's incredible. This is a really beautiful, you can't really see, but this is like foil. Her dress looks like, I guess, a hibiscus flower, and it's like foiled, and at the back the black and white is foiled, it's like silver. It's really hard to get back into the sleeve, so I'm not going to open it. But you should listen to this album, because this album is incredible. And finally, one more album actually fell out when I took that one out, and it's Joni Mitchell Blue. Despite Joni Mitchell being so annoying and also like wanting to pull her music like Neil Young, like, please guys, I really want to like your music, stop being so annoying on Spotify. I adore Joni Mitchell. This album always reminds me of my friend Maria, who's my best friend in school. She did an amazing rendition of, I'm pretty sure it was All I Want. Yes, it was All I Want. Maria, correct me if I'm wrong. At our 4th year talent show, and I mean, this album is just a classic. It's just like amazing 70s folk, female folk, so iconic. So I said iconic a lot in this, but I do think I'm using the word iconic correctly when it comes to albums like this. So yes, that is all my fave records. Let me know if you want to know any more, or if you have any recommendations for me, music-wise. And I will see you all in next week's vlog. Can you tell that the mushrooms have hit like fully, by the way? Because I feel great. Okay, bye-bye.